Hey everybody, two metalheads.
What's up, y'all?
What's up?
Somebody's got to call Dr. Love because Mario's got rock and roll pneumonia.
Yeah.
All the Kiss fans will know where I'm coming from with that shit. So, Sunday, this past Sunday, which who knows when you guys are going to see this, but whatever. In our world at the moment, this past Sunday was 20 years since Dimebag Darrell was murdered. December 8th, 2004, on stage at the Alrosa Villa, some fucking piece of shit walked in the club with a gun, got up on stage, and fucking took Dimebag away from us. This tomorrow, Friday the third. Oh shit! Tomorrow's Friday the 13th.
Yes, it is.
December 13th, 2001. So it's going to mark 23 years tomorrow since Chuck Schuldiner passed away from brain cancer.
Hmm.
So I want to talk about the legacy and the music, specifically Death and Pantera, because those are the main bands everybody really cares about.
Yeah.
um, I want to talk about these two bands for a little bit. So, when did you get into Pantera?
Uh, I believe by the time I got into them, when did Trendkill come out? 97?
That came out in 1996.
Okay, so it was probably a little bit before that album came out, and then I saw them on that tour.
Oh, you saw them on Trendkill.
Yeah, that's the only time I saw them. They were playing, I believe it was Soulfly and Morbid Angel in Pantera.
That's a fucking great show.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a good
That's a fucking great show.
one. When Soulfly was new. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be right. Because when was Roots? Do I have Roots up here? I do, but I can't get to it. Yeah, so that would be brand new Soulfly.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a fucking show.
Yeah, I think that was the only time I saw them. And they probably were, I mean, they had one album after that anyway, right? And then that was it.
Yeah, they only did one after that, Reinventing the Steel.
Yeah. So there wasn't a whole lot of other chances to see them anyway.
That's true.
And I was too young before that to really, I mean,
Yeah,
I was probably, I was 15 then. So I was young then. Somebody else took me.
right.
One of my brother's friends, no, one of my friend's older brothers. Oddly enough,
Ah,
he didn't go, but he took he took me and somebody else. 'Cause he like,
that's fucking cool.
yeah, I don't think he
Yeah,
had.
I never got to see Pantera, unfortunately. Well, I saw the current version that's touring,
Yeah,
which I love all those guys. But in the Fuck Boston episode, if you go back, you'll understand why I didn't really appreciate that set in particular. They Whoever did their sound should be fucking hung. But yeah, I never got to see Dimebag play live, unfortunately.
uh, yeah, that was like Trendkill was a heavy album for them.
It certainly was.
Yeah, Uh,
That's my top favorite Pantera album.
I would probably put that. It's hard. Uh,
If you had to pick three,
it would be in there.
so what would number three be?
Probably Vulgar Display of Power.
That's a good pick. That's what my number three would be as well.
Yeah. And then
Fucking fantastic album.
number two. Oh, you Well, what's your favorite song on that one?
I'm gonna say Hollow.
That's a good one. I like Regular People, I think.
Regular People is fucking fantastic too.
Yeah.
That whole side two of this is fucking great. No Good Attack the Radical, Live in a Hole, Regular People by Demons Be Driven, and
Like
Hollow
Demons
is
Be
is the
Driven
last
is
one.
good too. Yeah.
That's a fucking great song, man.
It's weird because This Love was the hit, and that's a good song. But
It's a great song. I love the ending of This Love, man. It's fucking that whole weird shuffle thing they go into that
yeah,
that shuffle is so fucking weird, and it's like off time but it's on time, and it always reminded me of ZZ Top. It's got that Texas swing in it.
maybe. I mean, they were Texas, right? So
Yeah, and Dime was a huge ZZ Top fan.
yeah,
But it's just like it's crazy hearing how heavy that is and going, oh fuck, that reminds me of ZZ Top.
yeah,
But yeah, that Hollow dude, that fucking the lyrics in that are so good, and that whole like melodic brown now now now, like that whole melodic guitar line through the soft part is fantastic, and then the end is just a nasty breakdown that really fucking punches you in the face.
yeah.
Love it.
And that was
Yeah,
the one that
I
got
would say
on.
Hollow's my favorite.
So okay, so what's your second favorite album? I mean, the album.
Oh, second favorite album,
Yeah. Wow. Okay. That's not
Far
gonna be
Beyond Driven.
not gonna be on mine.
Yeah, this is. I got this on release day, and I had, I first got into Pantera with Vulgar Display. Um, I heard them on 89.5 WSOU.
I think I probably got into them during 5 Minutes Alone was probably the first thing I heard because that was on TV. That was on MTV a lot. Headbangers
Oh yeah,
with
yeah.
the strings in slow motion bouncing around.
Yeah, the
That's probably
fucking
what was that 95 or something?
This one is 1993, I believe. 1994.
Okay, yeah, that's probably when I first started hearing them. Yeah,
1994. Yeah,
that's the
the
third
video
album,
for
right?
5 Minutes Alone
Yeah,
and I'm Broken were constantly on
yeah,
MTV.
yeah. That's how I heard of Pantera, probably.
Yeah, this is the first album.
And that's
Well,
when
this
those videos started coming out.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got into them with Vulgar from hearing them on that college radio station 89.5,
Oh yeah, that'd be SOU.
and got that album, got Cowboys, and then I got this on release day.
Hmm.
And this one just fucking rips. My favorite one off this is 25 Years. And that one's very personal for me because all the lyrics are about dealing with an abusive father.
Hmm.
And it's pretty much exactly what I was going through at that point in time in my life in 1994. My dad was really just a piece of shit.
Hmm.
So that's part of what makes this album hit harder for me and what makes it number two. Also, you know how much I love Black Sabbath. I will never say
Oh yeah.
that a band has a better cover version of an original Sabbath tune, but definitely this version of Planet Caravan is the one time where I take exception and go, yeah, this is better than the Black Sabbath version. It really is.
You know what? This is a different band and cover, but Testament's version of Sales of Charon, the Scorpion
I
song,
never heard that.
really good.
I got to check that out.
Yeah.
It's not on any of their albums.
Yeah, it's on First Strike Still Deadly. When they redid, they redid some of their old songs in the heavier tuning and Chuck's more modern heavy voice.
That's right. That's right. I
I
believe
think
it or
it's
not, I
on,
don't have that in my collection. I got to get that.
I think it's on that one. You could look it up on YouTube. I'm sure you'd find it.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
find it on
it's
YouTube and
good.
check it out.
Alex
Absolutely.
Skolnick does the solos justice, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But anyway,
What's your number two for Pantera?
probably Southern Trendkill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Fantastic album.
Which says a lot for me because there's very little guitar solos on that album.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's not a lot of guitar solos on that album. And then
Yeah.
there's not a lot if you listen to it. For Pantera,
Are you mixing this up with reinventing?
no.
No? I feel like there is a decent amount of guitar solos on this. Drag the Waters has a guitar solo in it. Tens, I think 13 Steps has a guitar solo in it.
Compared to the first three albums, it was a big drop off.
Floods has a big guitar solo in it.
But that was more of like a trippy kind of thing.
That's sort of a ballad, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this one because of the experimentation they did on this one. There's like
It
black
was,
metal in it.
yeah, it was
There's
just more
fucking
brutal.
ballads.
Like Suicide Note Part Two was just
That's a
insane.
black metal song.
Insane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's fucking killer. Great Southern Train. It starts with blast beats.
yeah.
The first song just immediately is like Phil vomiting into the vocals fucking mic and just blast beating immediately. It's fucking killer. Yeah, this is my number one.
Oh, okay.
This is my absolute favorite. I played this and still play it to death.
Oh, me
And I love
too.
the cover. The snake looks so fucking cool.
I still have the shirt. Mine has holes in it, and I mean it's probably the tour shirt, but it has holes
Oh
in
yeah,
it. Yeah,
yeah. You've had that thing forever.
yeah, since the '90s.
I fucking love this album.
And then I think you could probably guess what my first one is, but
I would guess Cowboys from Hell.
yeah, because I mean
Fantastic album.
the guitar work in that album is just top notch.
Yes.
Like even
Yes.
what was it? Is it Primal Concrete Sledge where it like ends and then he just rips a quick little solo and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
And if you try to figure out that solo, it's like 2 seconds long and it's fucking hard.
Yeah.
You know, like yeah.
Same thing for the solo with fucking Hostile. That's a short guitar solo,
I learned
but
that
it's
one.
fucking hard.
Did you see us play that?
I
Did,
don't think I did.
did we play that at Kyle's? Assault covered. No, we might have only did it once. We played it at Olive's, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't at the Olives gig.
We did it once, and George was like, dude, there is so many lyrics to this song. It is so fucking hard to remember. You know?
Yeah.
And
And
so
it
we
all goes
stopped.
by fucking so fast.
Yeah. But I did learn the solo. For a dime bag solo, it's not that hard for a dime bag solo.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't too hard. Like I learned we covered Domination a long time ago.
I remember that.
I was took me way longer to learn that solo.
Yeah.
That one was hard. Yeah. It's just the fucking hostile solo has a little bit of a timing and the chord thing. He has like some bends where he's hitting two notes at the same time. So it was a little tricky, but
Right. That
not
wow,
crazy.
wow, 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 wow.
Yeah, but it wasn't for a Dimebag solo, it was one of the easier ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember trying to learn that. I talked the guys in restraints into covering it, and we just wound up never doing it live because certain members of the band were just like, I'm not into covers.
Yeah.
So, you know, we
I
just kind of
mean,
fucking,
we even had Jake yell, "Farts stink like a motherfucker."
oh, that's awesome. Oh, stink like a motherfucker. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, that was domination, but yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, like yeah, we did it. I mean, it's a fun song to do. Everybody knows it, you know.
absolutely.
But yeah, and then I think they wanted to do another one now, and I'm like, and they're like, yeah, we should do one, but just we'll do it like, we'll pick different songs here and there and do one. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. If I'm gonna take all this time to learn a solo like that, I don't want to play it once, like
Yeah, just keep it in the set,
yeah, yeah,
or at least keep it in the fucking armory, you
yeah.
know?
I don't want to do it just once.
Right.
It's a lot of work to learn one of those solos.
Sure is.
Cemetery Gates is a hard one too. You think like, oh, it's a ballad. No, no, that solo is hard.
Yeah, that solo's fucking complicated.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people said Cowboys from Hell. I know a lot of people say that one's hard, but I don't think that is compared to a lot of the ones on that album, that one's not that crazy.
Yeah.
It's good, but it's not as crazy as he has some solos where if you watch people covering them, they're like tapping it, and
Right.
he's not. He's stretching the whole way and not tapping.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck. You know, I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's lots of live shots you see of him like
He must have had
his
big
fucking
hands.
fretting hand is totally spread.
And I don't think he was a big dude.
I don't think he was either.
He must have just had he either had a shorter scale length on, or he was able to stretch his fingers because
Yeah,
he was stretching.
he might have had bigger hands.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I never met Dimebag, but I've met dudes where I was like Steve Vai,
Yeah,
giant hands. Like
right.
the big, and he's like 6 foot something. He's a big guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I get why he can get around. Like, Paul Gilbert, you know, big hands. Some of these
Yeah,
guys,
he's a tall, lanky guy too, though, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But then some of the guys, like one of the best guitar players that most people probably have never heard of, unless you're a guitar nut, Guthrie Govan,
Hmm.
not a big dude, not giant hands, one of the fastest guys. Like he's insane.
Yeah.
Even Ingve, he's not. His hands aren't giant,
Right.
you know. So it's like it's hard to judge, you know. But yeah, Cowboys from Hell, definitely.
Number one.
Yeah,
Nice.
I
Good
don't think
pick.
I don't think I'd be able to do this with Death. It's been so long. I could tell you what my favorite one was for Death, but
Oh, your absolute favorite Death album?
yeah,
I feel like we're gonna both have the same favorite Death album.
earlier or later.
Way later, the end.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Sound of
Yep.
Perseverance.
Yeah. And it's
Absolutely.
weird for a band to have such a better album later on. Like, to be honest, and I know I'd probably get a lot of hate for this, I didn't like Scream Bloody Gore that much.
I love that album.
I felt like over time they got more complex, and that's when I started really liking it.
Oh yeah, they changed their style up so much. That's why I love Death though, is they didn't rest
His
on
voice
their
got better
laurels
too.
with this.
His voice got way better.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Got easier to understand vocally and
And I,
also like more high pitched and
yes, snakish.
yeah.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
think
no doubt.
I think later on getting Gene Hoglan on drums made them musically better too.
Yes, definitely. With individual thought patterns starting from there. But even the album before that, Human, is when things started to kind of not be so stereotypically death metal.
Yeah, it was a leprosy.
Yeah, there's Scream, Leprosy, and Spiritual Healing.
Yeah.
those are the ones that like the old school death metal guys are like, yeah, after spiritual healing, they're dead to me. I don't give a fuck anymore. And I'm like, but there's so much better shit after that.
Yeah. I think which one was the one that had Andy LaRocque on it? Was that Spiritual Healing?
Andy LaRocque was on Individual Thought Patterns.
Oh, okay, that was.
Gene Hoglan.
Yeah, I think that's when they really started. Yeah, I
That's
like.
when they started getting very melodic.
Yeah, I liked that.
Me too.
But they didn't get like it got melodic, but it didn't get wussy either.
Not at all.
Yeah,
Still very heavy, nasty, violent riffs all through
yeah.
that album. Same thing with Symbolic too. Symbolic is my second favorite.
Symbolic's great. Yeah.
And that's another one, just nasty, violent riffs, but great, beautiful, melodic guitar shit all woven throughout that record that I really love. I like Scream Bloody Gore a lot. That's going to be my third. Symbolic's my two. Sound of Perseverance is my one. I like that. So, for all the reasons that the old school death metal guys called death pussy music after spiritual healing, is the reason why I love death.
Hmm.
Because Chuck took death metal and was like, okay, death metal doesn't have to just be this one thing that's about zombies and blood and gore, and it doesn't have to just be thrash riffs and blast beats. It could be this fucking weird math oriented thing, and he did that with Human.
Hmm.
And then he could say, okay, now after Human, it doesn't have to be this math thing anymore, because then he created babies with fucking Cynic and Atheist, even though the guys from Cynic were on Human. It could be this weird melodic thing too, where there's all these great melodic lines all throughout the songs, and then did that with Individual Thought Patterns and expanded on that with Symbolic and Sound of Perseverance. And he was a dude that just kind of took the genre and said it doesn't have to just be this. It can also be this. It can also be that. It can also be this. And I
Yeah.
love that. Like, I really appreciate that about Chuck.
Yeah, he just wrote what he wanted to write, and
Pretty much.
yeah, because like Sound of Perseverance really had that Egyptian-y kind of sound,
Yeah.
and I really liked that. It was exotic. Yeah.
Yes.
And Richard
Yes.
Christie, that was when Richard
Totally
Christie
different.
came in, and that was like Richard Christie's first that I remember first bigger. Was he in Iced Earth before that, or was that after it?
Oh, that's after death. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because this is 98.
yeah, that's right.
Um,
He was on Horror
he's,
Show.
I think Horror Show was 99.
I think that's when I saw them. I saw Iced Earth with. I think it was the Horror Show tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is, I mean, for me, this is the one. I always get shit from the old school death metal guys, but this is the
Nah,
one, man.
fuck that. That's the best album.
Absolutely. The
Yeah.
flesh and the power it holds. And the thing too is
If
the
you're a
lyrics got
guitar
better.
player, if you're a guitar player and you don't think that's the best album, there's something wrong. You
Yeah.
know? At least not me. At least if you don't think that's the musically the best one, you know.
They also lyrically got so much better too. Like from individual thought, actually going back to spiritual healing on
Yes.
a lot of the blood and gore stuff is leaving, and he's starting to talk more about how human beings can be really pieces of shit, and how like the human psyche is fucked up, and how we fuck each other over, and how we lie, and how we get addicted to fucking drugs, and how we don't care about other people. And I really love that aspect as well, is that lyrically everything gets so much deeper. Like fucking Scavenger of Human Sorrow. The
Uh,
lyrics to that is all about a human being a piece of shit to another human, and like the fact that we have that in us to do that. I fucking love that.
and to forgive is to suffer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I fucking love that song, man.
Yeah.
I really loved on this The Voice of the Soul, that acoustic fucking
Yeah.
nice interlude thing. That's so beautiful, man.
And there's a great cover song on there.
That's right. Painkiller.
Yeah. That was a great version of Painkiller.
It really is a fantastic version of that fucking song.
Yeah.
It really is. That's another one where I'd have a hard time saying that I prefer the Priest one.
Yeah, it's a little bit more aggressive. Yeah.
It's a lot a bit more aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richard Christie on the drums. Yeah.
No fucking hate to Scott Travis or
No.
Rob Halford. I love Priest, but that's a damn good, if not better, cover as well.
Yeah. Is that when they had James Murphy?
No, I believe the other guitar player on this was it Scott Clendenin?
Oh, I don't know. James Murphy was in there somewhere.
James Murphy was on Spiritual Healing.
Ah, did I tell you about?
This the other guitar player was Shannon Ham,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
and the bass player was Scott Clendenin.
Oh, what happened to did I tell you about the time I met Richard Christie and it was one of the other guys in Death, I think. In the diner
No,
I so uh, this is a weird story, but so me and my friends were in a diner late at night, just a bunch of metalheads just hanging out. And these two guys and a girl sit across from us. And like we end up starting to talk a little bit. And I'm looking at them like, you guys look really familiar. And this was the late 90s. Like
yeah,
probably around the time when I would listen to albums and look through the book and then like so we were talking to them, and they're like, oh, I don't know, we've been around. Like, all right. And then like so they leave and I go home and not a day or two later I'm listening to the album, looking through it. It was Richard Christie. I'm like,
son of
fuck.
a bitch.
And he
Fuck.
he lives in New York. So,
Right, yeah, right. I met him twice. I went and saw Judas Priest when Halford came back and they put out Angel of Retribution. It was me, my girlfriend, and a buddy of mine. And he's walking down the steps going towards his seat. And I went, oh, fuck, it's Richard Christie. And he heard me say that. And he turned around and looked at me and gave me the fucking horns. And Christine took a picture of him, real like back when there was no digital cameras. This is 2005, 2004. I guess there was digital cameras, but
they were in
she had
college.
still an old like the film camera and shit, and took a picture of Richard Christie giving us the horns at Judas Priest. So then we're leaving the show and we're stuck in the traffic going out because I wanted to stay for every second of Priest. So we're stuck in the traffic and he's hanging out outside of a car with two chicks and he's blasting metal. And fucking, I see him again. We're on the way out of the venue and fucking give him the horns. I'm like, yo, Richard. And one of the chicks turns around. She goes, do you want to see his ass? And I said, no, no, I really don't. And he goes, yeah, I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to see my ass neither.
And he did have that. He has that slow, like Kansas, like yeah,
Very slow southern drawl.
yeah. He still
I
has.
met him again when the first Chart Walls of the Damned record came out.
Oh,
He
okay.
did a meet and greet at a record store in New Jersey. And me and my girlfriend and the singer from my old band, Left in Ruins, went down for that. A very nice guy.
Yeah. No, and now he works on the Howard Stern show.
Yeah, very nice guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he seems.
His his character that he plays on the Howard Stern show is a little questionable.
I don't know if it's a character.
You don't think it's a character?
Some of the stories he told are from like when he was on tour. How he took a shit in like a coffee can and put it in an oven, and just stunk the whole place up. Like he's still
Oh, what a piece of garbage.
like he lived in like a storage facility for a little while. Like
I could see that. I know Death used to practice in storage facilities down in Florida.
probably about that time.
Yeah. And what's it what the other Florida fucking big band? Obituary.
Yeah.
They used to do that too. They used to sleep in a storage unit and fucking get up and practice in the storage unit during the day.
Mm, yeah.
But all the like the questionable things he's done with Benji and Sal the
Yeah.
stockbroker and
But you hear some of his old stories that he tells too, like when he was a kid, him and his friends taking baths together and biting fart bubbles, and you're like, okay, maybe it's not a
maybe
character,
it's not an act.
he's just a weird guy.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but I
He
don't know.
is funny.
No, he's funny. Yeah, still a good drummer.
I wish he was doing something.
I think he still does Charred Worlds of the Dam, but they don't really
Yeah,
talk.
but that their last album is from fucking their last album is from fucking 2016.
Oh yeah, okay,
That's almost fucking 10 years old.
shit. Yeah, I remember when it came out. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it was that long ago, but
They did three great records, and I love Ripper. That's he's the fucking perfect complement on vocals.
yeah,
But yeah, I, I mean, unless he's done something that I don't know about, I think that's the last thing Richard Christie's done musically.
you ever hear the song that I did with Ripper?
Off the Shadow Wraith thing.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah,
yeah,
great.
that's cool. Yeah, that's a cool one.
I'm sure it was fucking really cool to get the physical copy of that back and say, I fucking did a song with Ripper
Yeah,
and Chris
yeah,
Caffery.
Chris Caffrey's on that song too. Me and him traded solos on that one.
You see Sabotage is back?
Yeah, I saw that. And John Oliva's doing it.
Yep.
Huh. That ought to be cool.
That'd be pretty dope to go see.
Where there's nowhere around here that does shows anymore.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that was.
It's gonna be the city
Yeah, it's probably going to be at like the fucking Monarch in Brooklyn or something.
or Albany.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was at Empire in Albany, where fucking Valente books.
Maybe. I don't know. How big is that place?
I don't know. I never been,
Yeah, it's too
but
far.
they just had Exodus there.
It's kind of far, so it's hard for me to.
If they had Exodus there,
Yeah, that's true.
probably take Sabotage.
I feel like Savage's first tour back is going to be gigantic. And then I think it'll
Yeah,
it's been a really long time,
yeah. It's been like what 20 years, something like that.
probably. Yeah, it's
I
got
forget. I just saw the number the other day when they announced it. I'm like, wow, it's been that motherfucking long. And yeah, yeah, this first tour is going to be massive.
yeah. And then it'll level off. It'll still be big, but it'll level off.
Right.
If they do another album and it's good, they'll keep it going, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's going on, so
Yeah, we'll see, obviously.
yeah,
Good for them.
yeah, that'll be cool. Maybe something to talk about one day.
Absolutely.
Hopefully they come out with an album or something. I would assume,
Yeah.
are they touring just to as a comeback or are they doing an album?
I would assume the tour is the comeback and then they're going to do a record and do another tour. That's usually how that shit works when a band's been away for a while.
Who are they getting on guitar besides Chris?
I do not know.
That's gonna be a weird one.
I do not know.
Yeah, I'm sure they
Maybe Al Petrelli. That would be cool.
maybe. Was he in Sabotage at one point?
I don't think he was in Sabotage, but he's in the fucking West version of TSO.
Yeah, but the drummer for Sabotage is in TSO on the East Coast too.
Right.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. Well, Let us know your favorite Pantera and Death albums.
Yeah, comment below. Fucking, what's your favorite Death and Pantera stuff? Favorite songs? Favorite records? Did you go
Yeah,
see him live? Because if you did, I'll be fucking jealous.
I wish I got
Because
to
I
see.
never got to see either. Did you ever get to see Death?
No,
Yeah, me neither.
I by the time Sound of Perseverance came out, and that's I got into them when Sound of Perseverance came out.
Okay.
'Cause it was by then, I was 17. Like,
Yeah, 1998.
so I would have gone and seen them, but he was dead like a year later when I got it. When I got into it. So
Right.
I think he was already like he did that one Control Denied. I don't even think they toured.
No, he was sick at that point with Control Denied. Do you like
Mm.
that album?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, me too.
He didn't sing on it, but it's a pretty good album.
It's guitar wise, it's a really good album.
It's more power metal, but yeah,
Yes.
which is cool.
Power metal and kind of proggy, sort of.
Yeah, and it reminds me a little Nevermore-ish.
Yes, I could see that.
Yeah, but
Steve DiGiorgio on bass, Richard Christie on drums. Can't
yeah,
beat that.
it was good. And then like yeah, then I didn't have enough. They were touring for Sound of Perseverance in '98. By the time I heard of them, I don't think they were touring anymore,
Yeah.
and that was it. I never had the chance. Uh,
There's a really cool live DVD
I have a couple of live ones.
called Death Live in LA.
I have that. Yeah.
That's fucking great performance, man.
I don't think I've seen any live videos of them with Gene Hoglan. I'm sure there are some.
No, no, I don't own anything of them with Gene Hoglan, but
Yeah, I saw that
this
one.
is a killer live performance.
Yeah. Well, anyway, do the things below us.
Subscribe and like and blow us and all that bullshit.
Two metalheads.
Rest in peace, Chuck and Dimebag.
Yep.